Welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani with you until 11 o'clock at 412-575-2600. Lots to get into, so get on the phones or on your Twitter and let me know what you think. Okay, we're going to get right to it, beginning with Rick and Elizabeth up first. Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Good, Bob. Bob, 7 points. Is that has to be the low point of not just our program, but 7 points?
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It leaves you speechless. I don't know. I really think that I can go out there and score 7 points in a half, but my goodness, I got to believe that. I was with you, with Kevin Stallings, giving him some extra time, to, get his guys in there. But when you have at the end of the year especially, these kids have shown that they have not got better. They have gotten worse.
Yeah.
They regressed. You have to make them. You just have to make a move, I believe.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, look at the attendance. But here's the thing. It comes with that, Rick. Not only do you have to depart with between $9 and $10 million to give Kevin Stallings. What a great thing to be a college coach these days. And when you go away, they give you more. And Sean Miller, despite what's going on, may make more money if he's fired with reason or with cause, which doesn't make any sense to me. Who are these agents who are getting away with this kind of stuff? And why are universities so willing to give up these big numbers? Come on. Anyway, I mean, the fact is it's going to cost them a lot of money. Plus, they have to make sure they have the right person coming in. And if you don't, you can be doubling down on how long this streak of bad basketball will continue. It's a dicey situation. Mike Sapienza on Twitter at KD Pomp says, who is the new face of the Pirates since they traded Kutch? Well, my answer at this point would be probably Josh Bell, Jamison Tyone, those two guys. I think they're going to expect a lot out of those two. They're going to have to. Nice move to get Corey Dickerson because he does give you a left-handed bat at PNC Park with that short porch in right field that can hopefully generate some power. But guys like Marte and Polanco have to be really good this year, you'd think. But I would, if my guess is for a face of the team, it would have to be Josh Bell and Jamison Tyone moving forward. Back to the lines. We have Wesley in Mount Washington. Hey, Wesley, how you doing?
Good, Bob. How about yourself?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the culture of Pitt basketball, and do you really fire Kevin Stallings and pay him $10 million? I don't think you fire him unless you have someone set in stone that is going to change the culture immediately.
Right. Well, is there anyone out there who can do that?
How far away do you think they are?
Do you think there's anyone out there who can do that? I don't know who's going to come
immediately.
Here.
No, I don't think there is.
Let me
that's
ask
why
you
I think
a question.
You give him one more year.
I asked this of our sports showdown panelists tonight. Which do you think right now is a better program, Pitt or Penn State, when it comes to basketball?
Wow.
Better job, for that matter. What's a better job? I mean, it's,
yeah, definitely Penn State for sure. I would even throw Duquesne out there.
Well, I mean, Danbrought's gone through some tough times right now, although I still think they're heading in the right direction. Thanks,
yeah, they've kind of lost their steam a little bit.
Yeah. But they're all young, too, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks, Wesley. Appreciate the call. Let's go out to Ken in Clearfield. What's up, Ken? How you doing?
Hey, Bob. How you doing tonight?
Good, thanks.
Hey, I love the trade for Derek Bouchard for the Penguins, and I know they give up some guys, Cole and Reeves, and I understand that. But do you think Jim Rutherford? He's no dummy. He might go get a guy that can come in there and play a little bit more defense and protect the big boys. What do you think?
Well, there's some guys out there, Luke Shen's one of them who I like a lot. I mean, at a price, you have to watch salaries at this point because they had a salary cap issue with this Broussard trade. I think beyond this season, one of the things I worry about, if you're a Patrick Hornquist fan, and I am, I think he's a unique player. We saw that again last night, the emotion that he could bring, what he does in front of the net and how fearless he is, and he's going to cash in. Now, Jim Rutherford told Jason Mackey of the Post-Gazette he still thinks he's in play for the Penguins. Hope so. But where does all this money come from? The salary cap will be going up, but I still think they need somebody to bring in here on that defense because in a long 2 months, you're going to have one or two guys go down with injuries. Man, the blocking shots, it increases exponentially. People throw themselves in front of pucks all the time, and there are injuries as a result. So you better make sure that despite all the firepower you have up front, you can have somebody back there who is capable of playing and doing the job defensively, because that's going to be a big part of this as well. Keep in mind, too, Boston's a big physical team. They added Nash. He'll be on the second line with David Krejci. They have a really good first line with Pasternak, Bergeron, and who else is on that line? Brad Marchand. And then they have, pretty good depth lines as well. So that's a move that should help them, you would think. He's a guy who has the ability to put the puck in the net. Let's go to Kimberly in Upper St. Clair. Hey, Kimberly, how you doing? Kim, are you there? Or is this
Hello.
Nunzio? I'm sorry, I got the wrong line. Hey, Nunzio,
Yes.
how are you? Go ahead.
I can hardly hear you, but what I'm going to say is this. Pitt's basketball program has never been this low. It's going to take more than one guy to fix it.
The Ralph Willard days
I believe they should bring in two people. I believe they should bring
two people.
Billy Knight in as the director of basketball operations and Brandon Knight in as a coach. What do you think?
I think it's unproven. I don't know if that'll change the dynamics. I like Brandon Knight a lot. I like Billy a lot. But I just don't think that's going to happen. You have an athletic director who is not going to relinquish those situations. You don't need two people. You need one good person. You need somebody who's going to be able to take it. And you better make sure you're right with this, because it's going to cost you some money there as well. So, I think you asked me if it's, remember the Ralph Willard days were pretty bad as well. And I like Ralph, but man, that program did not do much in that time span as well. So we'll see. Now let's go to Kimberly in USC. What's up, Kimberly? How are you?
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling.
I had a question.
Okay.
I wondered, and I asked my son that went to Pitt this, if maybe the players aren't playing well on purpose because they want a new coach.
Yeah, but that, all that means is they may not be looked at as assets to whatever new coach is coming in. I don't think that's the case at all. I just think they're not being coached. They're not responding to the coaching. Whatever the case may be, it's just you can't have 7 points and a half. And, they've been close a couple of times, but have been really pummeled in most of these games. And that's not a good sign, despite how young they are. Thanks, Kimberly. Appreciate the call. We got more Twitter feedback. BK says, KD Pomp, all on the Chancellor and hiring Scott Barnes. What a disastrous move, including his lazy way out, using a search firm. And I agree with that. These search firms and using other people. I mean, to me, it's got to be, if Heather Lyke is the athletic director, which she is, she should go out and do what she thinks is right. If you will need some help, fine. But when you start bringing in all sorts of things, because search firms are also driven by agents and people who have agendas. And so I think that's a mistake sometimes. I do. We have this from Golf JRK. He says, KD Pomp, bet me 1,000 the Tiger doesn't win another event. No, I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you that as a gentleman's bet, just because I'm against betting that sort of money, I just don't think. I hope you understand my logic with it, too. I think Tiger Woods is 41, and I think he's great for golf. I hope he's back at it. I hope he's a draw. I hope he is competitive. I just think it's very difficult to win, especially when you got to put 4 rounds together. So far, the good news for him, no injuries. We'll see. Hopefully, if he can, it'll be a great story, no doubt. Let's go to George in Polish Hill. What's up, George? How you doing?
Bob, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Bob, regarding Pitt basketball, the best coach on the planet, Larry Brown, couldn't fix that disaster. But what I'm calling about is Tiger Woods. Now, he showed even for the tournament, from what I understand, which means he didn't play good, he didn't play bad. Why even mention his name, Bob? He cheated on his wife. He ruined a family unit involving children. He doesn't deserve his name mentioned. Thanks.
All right. But keep in mind, that was a very difficult golf course with the wind down there, PGA National, the bear trap, as they call it. Boy, that did Tiger in. He had 2 balls in the water on 15. He was -8 on every other hole except that bear trap, where I believe he was +5, +6, whatever the case was. And that gets a lot of players. So I think overall, I think it's a real big step in the right direction for him 2 weeks in a row. Now, as far as the other stuff, okay, that happened. I think, he's paid the price for that and what happened to him in his life because his wife left him. That family unit was destroyed. That's the price he paid for that. But I think as somebody who's good for golf, this guy needs to be competitive. The golf world needs him. Certainly people who watch television want to see him. And that's all I'll say about that. Let's go to Jerry. Actually, Jerry, Lou, and Joe will come to you when I come back. We're due for a break. We'll take it right now, right here live on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.